Welcome to Top Shelf Men, I'm Reese. Well guys, I'm back. It's been a while since the last video. I'm back in the States, I'm done with my travels, and I've learned a lot. Eventually I'll be making some videos on what I've learned during my trips. But for now, we're going to talk about why weak men create hard times. Why low T males, no matter how many times they get cheated on, no matter how many times they go through heartbreak, there's just a good segment of the population that just refuses to acknowledge that men and women are indeed intrinsically different. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about a theory I came across that I'm sure many of you might have seen before, but we're going to talk about it in this video. So stay tuned for the great show. Do me a favor, like and subscribe for you to stay up to date with the more Top Shelf Men content, since I'm getting back to making videos now. So I've often wondered, what is it about a segment of the male population that no matter how hard life kicks them in the face, they keep believing the same crap? And from that, I've seen guys that keep believing their broken system of like, oh, women and men, they're the same. Well, women, they deserve to have a chance to be on top because they've been oppressed. And I've known guys that have gotten divorced, that have been cheated on multiple times, and they keep getting back together with the same girl. And other guys that they have been chronically single for years. The last girlfriend they may have been 5 years ago, 6 years ago, but they keep on believing the same crap. And mind you, they're around guys like me that like kind of, like this is the thing. When you talk to these kinds of people, you can't just simply tell them, no, you're wrong. You're freaking nuts. You have to kind of, you have to pace them. You have to pace their mindset. And then you have to lead them into like, well, do you think their motivations are the same? I like to give the example of like, well, if you were a girl and, you wanted to get laid the same night, how hard would it be for you to just go into a bar and pick someone? So you have to kind of put these ideas into their head. And even if you pace them and lead them, they just refuse to acknowledge that men and women are just intrinsically different. And they keep going with the same feminist talking points of like, well, why wouldn't you want a female boss? Female bosses are great. And I'm sure they're thinking this because, well, they were raised by a single mom, or their dad was freaking useless and mommy did everything. But anyone who's worked in an office surrounded by women, you know that eventually there's so much drama and so much BS, so much backstabbing and back-talking that you just want to kill yourself. That's why men check out of a lot of female-dominated fields. And it's not that they're female-dominated because it's just females. It's just that a lot of females get hired and men just freaking don't want to work there anymore. And they keep spouting all these feminist talking points. And they just refuse to acknowledge that even with scenarios painted for them, men and women are indeed very different. And being from New York City, I've known plenty of betas who were together with a girl who cheated on them. And then after she cheated on them, they broke up. Okay, makes sense. But then for years, these guys were chronically single. They couldn't get another girl. They couldn't make another girlfriend. So then what happens is that after their girlfriend that cheated on them, got written like a village bicycle because she needed to find herself. A few years later, these girls call these guys up, and because these guys literally have nothing going on in their lives, they haven't had a girlfriend since that same last girl that cheated on them, they get back together. And some of them, even have gotten married. And even with a life example of how different the situation is, where the girl cheats on them, disappears for a few years, it's known that she's banged a lot of dudes, and then the guys get back together with her and wife her up. And these are the same guys that are still, well, she just needed to find herself. People take time to grow up, and I guess we're getting married now. And these are still the same guys that refuse to acknowledge that female nature is intrinsically different to male nature. And, when I talk about these things, again, I talk about it in a low key. I'm not preachy. I'm not proselytizing. Again, if I'm proselytizing, I have a YouTube channel for that, talking to you guys. But, I kind of say it subtly, and I get comments of like, well, how about we don't treat men and women differently based on their sexes? how about we just treat them as individuals? And mind you, these are the same soy jack looking guys. I mean, these guys look exactly like the memes. All the soy jack memes you see, it's like these guys literally look just like them. And you know, the reason they're called soy jacks is because of low testosterone. And look, you can comfortably guess all these guys are low testosterone. They have little office jobs where they're typing on their keyboard. They're overpaid, and you know, we'll see what happens with a lot of these programmers and whatnot when AI gets better and gets more widely used. And I'm sure that the guys that have a lot of experience, they're probably going to be managers. But then the lower end guys, I think that being a highly paid career is going to meet its end. But anyway, I have these soy jack looking guys that are like, well, how about we just treat people as individuals instead of based on their gender? And again, that's the mentality that they have because they just don't like anybody saying anything negative about women. So that made me wonder, what is it that these guys don't get? Even when I was a blue-pilled beta simp and I was simping for women and I spouted all the blue-pilled, oh, women are oppressed, oh, well, women deserve equal opportunities to men. And I used to say these things out loud, but I knew that it wasn't real. Like, that was kind of the mainstream thought process. And I went along with it, but deep down, like, I didn't have a strong conviction about it. And I knew it. Like, hold on, like, especially as I got more life experience. I'm an old man now. I'm in my early 40s. But as I got more life experience, I'm like, this is all bullshit. And then I went through messing up with a lot of girls. And I realized that, nah, it's my belief system that's broken. It's like, I'm constantly being influenced by mainstream culture, especially growing up in New York City, like feminist, giant feminist city where all the guys are cucked and all the women act like men. And then I realized, like, what is it about these guys? Like, I talk to them and I see them tripping over the same stone, getting cheated on, being unhappy, being alone, but they keep believing the same crap. And like, they say about male feminists is that like male feminists, they kind of spout the feminist talking points because it gets them laid. But now these guys aren't even getting laid. And then I was browsing 4chan and I came across this post that it's been posted on multiple times. If you guys have checked out 4chan over the years, you may have come across it. But I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting take to kind of talk about. So I'm going to put it up on the screen now. And the post reads, people who can't defend themselves physically, women and low-T men, sparse information through a consensus filter as a safety mechanism. So they're looking for consensus when they separate information, right? They literally do not ask if this is true. They ask, will others be okay with me thinking this is true? This makes them very malleable to brute force manufactured consensus, aka brainwashing. If every screen they look at says the same thing, they will adopt that position because their brain interprets it as everyone in the tribe believing it. Only high T alpha males and aneurotypical people, hey autists, are actually free to parse new information with an adjective, is this true? Filter. This is why a republic of high-status males is best for decision-making, democratic, but a democracy only for those who are free to think. And this made a lot of sense to me, because in the past, whenever I received new information that may have been upsetting or may have kind of broken my past belief system, I didn't really care about how other people felt. Basically, it's true. I like, okay, is this new information I'm receiving true or not? Like, the idea of how it makes other people feel never even entered into the equation. So that was really interesting to me because I guess from the fact that, I may have been a blue pill beta at a lot of, for my youth, in my 20s, especially to my 20s, to my 30s, I never, ever, ever, when I got new information, cared whether, does this hurt people's fifis? So, I don't know. To you guys, this might be like, oh, well, isn't this common sense? But no, to me, this is like, this is new information because, like, who cares? The truth is the truth, whether it hurts people's fifis or not. And not only that, but then if you think about it, right? All of us have this mentality that, like, yo, the average person is retarded. The average person is a freaking idiot. So if we think that about the average person, but then the average person is spouting feminist BS talking points, then why do we really care about retarded people having their fifis hurt or what retarded people think in the first place? So that never quite made full sense to me. And I think at the end, also, I was never afraid of physical confrontation, because if I say something that is intrinsically true, and don't get me wrong, especially when I lived in New York, I had a bunch of lefties. I would make a comment about something political because they always love to talk about politics because they wanna be in that echo chamber of like, brouhaha, communism. But I would say something that offended them, and I'd be like, oh, if this hurts you so much, you want to fight about it? I literally went up to their face and I said that, like, you want to take it outside? And because these guys were just virtue signaling pussies, they would just be like, they would like look away and be like, oh, no. Because this is the thing. Unless they are in a freaking group where they can jump you, they're freaking pussies one-on-one. Like, most of these guys have never been in a fight. And unfortunately, I was in a bit of fights in the army when I served, but I got my ass kicked a few times. But, I also kicked ass. So I'm not this invincible guy, but you know what? If I'm saying something that I know is intrinsically a fact, and the counter opinion cannot offer anything but call me names or just get or I'm supposed to care that they're offended, then I'll throw down. So, but again, these guys, they don't have that conviction. Why? Because they're betas. They're low-T males who process information through their feelings. And, oh, does everyone agree with me? That's why I think in all these cities, you have these giant feminist beta male echo chambers. Because they all freaking have to agree with each other. They care more about the consensus than what's real or not. And I think that's part of why other red pill content creators and the videos that I make have a value. Because for some of you, you guys may have been like, oh, well, everybody knows this already. Oh, this is like red pill talking points. Oh, I don't want to hear the same shit. And of course, like, I try not to talk about the current events because everyone's talking about the current events. Well, this happened today with so-and-so. Oh, this happened today with this actress lying about this guy. He got me too. Like, who cares? But the point is that I want to bring examples that bring it down to like the eye level for like the average guy. And because this is the thing, anybody living in the West, we are constantly getting bombarded with female propaganda, feminist propaganda, to the point that the reality, it's brainwashing. They want everyone to be, oh yeah, females are oppressed. Oh, females are, when it's, again, Schrodinger's feminist. A woman exists in two states of reality where where she's an empowered boss babe or she's a victim. And the women get to choose which one is best for them. So, when it's convenient, they're empowered. When it's convenient, they're victims. And it's why a lot of these low-T beta males, they're constantly seeking validation, where they're seeking approval for their opinions. That's why they get offended on other people's behalfs. So I found this interesting enough to share and make a video about it. So let me know if you have other theories or thoughts on the low-T soy jack simp epidemic. Leave a comment below. Also, smash the like and subscribe button for more Top Shelf Men content. I do want to get around to making more videos more often now that I'm back in the States after my months-long travels. And stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.